Welcome back, everybody, to the Playbook Podcast. I'm your host Trey for right now. Logan, I don't know if you're still out there, but sorry for the delay. Nick will be on just shortly. I'm just taking care of some things real quick before it comes on. So I have a lot to say. Things happened this past couple. Things have happened this past couple of days, especially if you're a Cowboys fan. We got a lot to get to tonight. I know it's late, right? I know it's basically midnight. But you know what? Why not? The heck with it. We have to talk about Micah Parsons, some college football preview tomorrow. Of course, WT. I'll be covering WT sports this whole semester for football. So yeah, I can't wait for it all. And so we're gonna get right into it, guys. So Micah Parsons is officially a Green Bay Packer. Adam Schefter reported we got two first round picks and also forgot his name. Give me 1 second. I have his name on my. I have it. I have his name. Sorry about this, guys. Um, trying to find it right now because I don't want to say his name wrong. Kenny Clark. That's Kenny Clark. Okay, Kenny Clark. Also with two first round picks. Um, so I was at. I was coming in to work yesterday when I saw that Micah Parsons had been traded to the Dallas Cowboys. And I was like, what in the heck just happened? So what I did was I almost cried. Straight up. I almost literally cried. And because here's the deal, I'm a Cowboys fan. I've been a Cowboys fan since I was a kid. I grew up watching Tony Romo, Des Bryant, Marcus Spears, DeMarcus Ware, Terrence Williams, Miles Austin, Marion Barber, Terrell Owens, Jason Witten, of course. Also, Roy Williams, too, the hard hitting machine. You know, same time, though, I grew up watching old school Cowboys on tape. But here's the deal, okay? I'm gonna be completely honest with you how I feel. I think the Cowboys are screwed. The Cowboys are screwed this year. I think it's to be a long season. I mean, we don't have a good pass rusher, and Micah Parsons was our pass rusher. I mean, yeah, I get it. We need to stop the run, but really, we need to stop the passing game too. What are we gonna do this? What are we gonna do then? I mean, he traded DeMarcus Lawrence in the offseason. Got rid of him. He's a Patriot now. Who else do we got? You know, Sean Lee is no longer playing for the Cowboys no more. Who we're gonna go get? I think this is a rebuild year. I wish it happened a long time ago because here's the deal. I've always said that the Cowboys should have rebuilded after the Packers gave them a butt whoop in the playoffs. By the way, that team who Micah went to the oh, it's Nick working right now. All right, Nick is right here. Uh, getting prepared. He wasn't scared tonight like he was the other night.
Bro, what is up?
What's up, man?
How's it going?
It's going good, bro. You're live.
Sheesh.
But anyways, while he's doing that, I'm gonna talk about how I feel about the Cowboys getting things prepared and whatnot. So, I think this is a rebuild year. I think they're rebuilding after that whooping they got against the Packers. I think they should have happened back then, not now, because now we don't have a good pass rusher because Micah Parsons was a pass rusher. Demarcus Lawrence is gone. But yeah, I get it. It's off the run all you want, but what we're gonna do we're in the going long and whatnot. What are they gonna do then? Nothing. So I'm disappointed by this trade. I wanted to crash out. I actually cried coming back home yesterday because here's the deal. Okay, this is a team. He went to a team that owns us, that's beaten us more than in the past 15 years. Literally, Aaron Rodgers, one of the worst seasons he ever had, literally beat us with Micah Parsons on the side of the field, by the way. And on top of that, you had Jordan Love, who was our first year starting at quarterback. You know what he does to the Cowboys? He gives them a big butt whooping. That's what what's happened throughout the scenario of being in this stupid scenario with the Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers overall. Okay, sorry, Nick's having difficulties. I should have waited for him, but I was just amped up and kind of like, man, I want to go live now, so it's my bad, Nick. You're watching, but here's the deal. Okay, now their defense is even stronger now because Green Bay lacked a lot was their defense. This is probably the best defensive back they've had since Reggie White, probably. God rest his soul. If you don't know who Reggie White is, look him up. Watch his games. He's a beast, man. Top 4 defender of all time in my book. Um, top 5, maybe top 5 to max, but I show respect to him. And I mean, of course, there's LT, there's Dion, there's Ray Lewis, there's Aaron Donald, and Reggie White. It could probably put in Ed Reed up there at some point, but anyways, but this is probably the best defensive pass rusher they have since Reggie White, and this is a team that actually owns us. So over the past decade. So now they've gotten better. Okay. Now my next question to y'all is Jerry Jones still have something up his sleeve? Because last time we saw this scenario was with Herschel Walker when he but at the time though, they have 4 players and also with the 3 or 4 first round picks, if I'm mistaken. And they got Emmitt Smith and they got better online on the other side of the offense and whatnot, and the defense too. They also got Charles Haley for that trades as well. Traded some trades to the Niners to get Charles Haley. But does Jerry have something up his sleeve? I don't think so. Maybe I could be wrong, but we're not gonna get Archie Manning next out of the draft this upcoming season. Archie Manning is actually going to be able to probably play out his 2 years at Texas, if not even that, which he should do, by the way. But who else are we going to get? We paid Dak way too much money. Okay, Micah said in a statement that he didn't want to leave the Cowboys. Okay, but you know what happened? He left, and Jerry Jones screwed us up big time. So who are we going to get freaking two first round picks? I mean, we haven't had a last time Jerry Jones went out to go get a star in the offseason was literally Terrell Owens. Him and Dion and Charles Haley. After that, who has he gotten outside of the draft picks? Nothing. So, with that being said, I think Dak Prescott. So since Micah Parsons is gone, Dak should be next.
Man.
Okay, here's Nick, guys.
What's up, guys? Sorry, I'm not in my normal spot. If you guys know, this background is different. I'm at my parents' house right now, so having a little bit of technical difficulties, but heard you getting a little passionate there towards the end.
Yeah. So here, but Dak's next. He's gone too, man. I have a lot of I just can't, man. It's hard to talk about. It's tough.
It definitely is. So, man, yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna jump right in here, guys. I know Trey spent the last 10-ish minutes discussing this trade, or I mean, I don't even know what you want to call it. So yeah, okay. I was at work when this trade happened. I was doing something at work. I wasn't on my phone, and then around 6:30-ish, 6:15, I'm done. Kind of chilling for the rest of the night. I work evenings, so I pull my phone out, says breaking news. Dallas Cowboys trading Michael Parsons. If you're Jerry Jones, his name is Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. 4-year, $188 million deal, $136 million guaranteed, $47 million per year. That makes him higher paid than Patrick Mahomes, who makes about $45 million a year. So my initial thoughts were, okay, surely we got 2 players and at least 3 picks. Okay. So, I wanted to see the details. And by this point, the details had come out. So, I go to Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I try to find Adam Schefter. I find it. 2 first-rounders and Kenny Clark. Okay, so it's hard to talk about.
I'll be right back. Hold on. I got to do something real quick.
You're good. Jerry Jones traded away the best I think anyone can agree that Micah Parsons was the best player in the Cowboys, right? He was the best defensive player. He was kind of the key. He really turned that defense around when he got drafted. I guess you could have argued CD, but
yeah, I'm back. I got a code. Sorry, guys. I got a code.
Take that off, bro.
I'll take it. I just want to see your reaction.
Take that John off. I don't want to see that, bro. So, I think most people think that Micah Parsons was the best player in the Cowboys, right? So I see that happen. Okay, so here's the deal. Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark is a fine player. He's okay. He's 30. He's coming off his worst year as a starter. And my initial thoughts were, okay, Jerry Jones has officially lost his mind. Okay, and then I hear his press conference. It got worse. So this buffoon of a man says, we got better defensively because now we can stop the run. Okay. I don't know if Jerry Jones knows who Kenny Clark is, but I think he thought he was trading for Aaron Donald in his prime because that's the only way whatever he said makes sense. Kenny Clark's a fine player. The Cowboys are still going to be horrible against the run. They just are. Kenny Clark's not going to make the difference that the Cowboys need. He's not Chris Jones. He's not Vita Vea. He's not prime Aaron Donald, right? He's not any of these legendary run stoppers, right? Like he thought he was getting like Reggie White or something. Like I don't understand. So I'm trying not to make sense of this trade because there's no sense to be made. Both those seconds are going to be late rounders because I don't know if you saw the odds, but the Packers shot to the top of the NFC North in odds to win the NFC North. I think they're going to be a 10-11, probably maybe 12-win team. So those picks aren't going to be great. And here's the problem. Here's why Jerry Jones is horrible at his job. Everything he does is late. He did the Dak deal late. He did the CD deal late. He could have signed Micah Parsons at the beginning of last offseason for $34 million a year. But he didn't. He waited.
He did it with Emmitt Smith too back in '92.
Yeah, so he's if you're going to make this trade, you have to do it before the draft. The Packers got Matthew Golden in that draft, and if the Cowboys did it before this year's draft, it would have been this year's pick and 2026 pick. Okay, at least you get a player on your team the year you trade him that you drafted, and that pick Matthew Golden, everyone thinks is going to be the Packers' number 1 receiver. That could have been a defensive player, a young defensive player. That could have been another offensive weapon. They probably would have went defense if that were the case. So he makes the trade too late. He could have had Micah on a very friendly deal, and now Micah's gone. And then this idiot of a deranged man says that he's going to flip those picks into 2, 3, or 4 good players. No, you're not.
Who's
You're not
going to
do anything. He's demented.
Oh my god.
He genuinely has lost his mind. So the I think the Packers are going to win the NFC North. I had them second, I believe. I had Lions, Packers, Bears, and then the Vikings. Now I think the Packers are going to win it. This is a huge deal. All the pressure's on Jordan Love because obviously that front office thinks that they can win a Super Bowl right now. That's why you make this kind of a trade because you think you can win right now. That was the sixth ranked defense last year in scoring. They were the youngest team in the NFL last year to make the youngest team ever to make the playoffs. They're the youngest defense last year. They were ranked sixth. Now you have a Rashawn Gary who's been double teamed his entire tenure as a Packer. Now gets to rush the passer with Micah Parsons. Micah's going to have 12 sacks, 12, 13, maybe 14 sacks. And now Rashawn Gary is going to be able to, for the first time in his career, not be double teamed. So he's going to have probably double-digit sacks as well. This is a organizational and fundamental failure on the count of the Dallas Cowboys. It's an embarrassment. It's a shame. This guy right here, Trey Lopez, my co-host, thought the Cowboys are going to do something this year. I'm
I take it back.
I'm glad that that has been taken away from him.
One more thing though. I'm gonna say something real quick. Skip Bayless. Okay, I watched a little segment today of your new show. By the way, I'm glad you're back on. I'm glad you're doing. I'm glad you're back on a debate program at least of some sort. I think you'll be back on ESPN at one point this year. But Skip Bayless, for you to say that I'm glad he's out. For you to say, Skip, that you say you're the Ranch Cowboys fan now for the past 10 years or just some malarkey stuff. And for you to call Micah Parsons overrated, to call him 11 from nowhere, it's just insane to me. Micah Parsons had 12.5 sacks for the past couple of years. Last season, he was hurt. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He was hurt last season for a little bit. The year part of that, he was a top candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. His rookie year, he tore up the whole defense. And for you to say, oh, he's no, I'm glad he traded Micah Parsons, dude. Skip Bayless, I think you lost your freaking mind too, bro. You and Jerry Jones lost your minds. And then freaking now you have Stephen A. You have Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin even said on his podcast today when he saw the reaction, he was hurt. I mean, that guy was like, bro, I can't believe what I just saw. Okay, and on top of that, he went on first take today. He was even hurt even more, man. Because here's the deal: you're making every Cowboys hater more relevant now, and now we can make fun of now because of this crap like this. Nick. Here's the deal: Jerry Jones cares about reality TV and clicks, and here's the deal, Jerry Jones. If you want to be a successful businessman, you've won already. You build a 1.5. I don't know how much the Cowboys are even worth. Probably 5 billion, something like that, and the billions and the billions and the billions. I know that they're in the billions. Okay, sure. You're like Trump. You're a business guy, but here's the deal: you cannot run a team at all. You proved it. You proved it when you fired Jimmy Johnson. I mean, yeah, your own documentary, by the way, Jerry Jones. Troy Aikman said, I hated playing for Barry Switzer, by the way. Emmitt Smith said the same thing. So Michael Irvin. Charles Kelly said the same thing, by the way, and you didn't want to admit that. Okay? This guy cares about TV clicks, reality TV shows, and that's what he cares about. He's a stubborn old man. The guy said he had cancer, which is some baloney stuff. He didn't have no cancer. You know what you did, Jerry Jones? You traded your best player on the team. Like, you lost your freaking mind, dude. You traded your best player on the team. People are burning their jerseys right now because of you, bro. Literally, they're burning your jerseys. I just can't believe it, man. I mean, I as a Cowboys fan, I'm disappointed in this team. Why are you doing it before the season starts, bro? Now we're really screwed. This is gonna be a long season for the Cowboys, man. I hope Jerry Jones sits down deep, telling, man, I can't believe this happened. Okay, you could have rebuilt it after you lost the Packers in the playoffs a couple years ago, but instead you waited forever to get rebuild now. And this is what you get. Your bad this season, that's on you, Jerry. This is all on you, by the way, buddy. And Clayton brings up, you're my good friend, but doggone it, Jerry Jones is not a good GM at all. He's a terrible GM. He can't run a franchise for his life. He can't do it. He can't do it at all, and it's just insane to me. This guy just wants reality TV shows. That's all he cares about.
Yeah. He's awful. He's been awful. I'm honestly surprised at how bad the trade was. Um,
I'm not surprised by it.
I mean, if I looked at my phone and it was 2 firsts, Kenny Clark, maybe a second, maybe a third, and then a 5th round pick, like, you got 4 to 5 picks plus a player, I'd be like, okay, I understand at least what you were going for, because now you have tons of draft capital. They only got 2 first rounders.
Yeah.
And I know in football, first rounders are very, very valuable. These are going to be in the 20s. These are going to be in the 20s. It's not like you're trading, a good player to a bad team so you can get their picks. This is going to be a good team. A lot of people had this team in the playoffs before Micah Parsons, and now a lot of people are going to have them winning the Super Bowl with Micah Parsons. It might be the dead last pick in the draft. I don't think that they're going to win the Super Bowl. I think that they could go to the Super Bowl, but I do think that the Ravens are gonna win this year, and I think that if the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, that they would beat the Packers as well. But like I'm just not. Yeah, it's awful. There's no plan, obviously, because the offense is going to be too good for this team to lose 11 games, or 12 games. Then that's the problem. A healthy Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback, and he's going to have weapons galore. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. They have an updated, younger offensive line. The run game is going to be a little questionable, but that offense is going to win them a couple games this year, and it's going to have to win them every game because that defense is going to be atrocious. But it's not like you're going to get a good pick of your own. You're not going to be drafting in the top 10. I think that the Cowboys probably win. What I said they were going to go 8-9. I think now they probably go 7-10 or 6-11. And to get one of those top picks, you have to win 3 games. They're going to win more than 3 games. So Jerry Jones in one fell swoop has gone from wanting to compete with the Eagles to they're going to be in a dogfight with the Giants for that last place spot in the NFC East. And that's really embarrassing. That's embarrassing as a Cowboys fan. That Giants defense is loaded. Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter leading your front line. They might have the best defensive line in the league. I think Jackson Dart is going to, if he can get on the field, is going to have a good year. Malik Neighbors is one of the best young wide receivers in the game. I like Cam Skibbity Toilet a lot as a player. We'll see if he actually gets playing time or not, but he is on the Giants. They could be a pretty good team this year. And now the Cowboys are going to be competing with them because their defense isn't going to be able to do anything. They're going to have a Bengals-like season. I don't think Dak is Joe Burrow, and I like CD a lot, but I think Jamar Chase is better. So, and T. Higgins is better than George Pickens. So it's just, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I can't do it.
Just go for him. Keep going, man. It's a good thought.
And I can't do it anymore. The Packers can win the Super Bowl. I don't think they will. So my pick was Ravens over Commanders in the Super Bowl. Just because I love Jaden Daniels, so you guys know that. I still think so. It was Commanders over Eagles in the NFC title game. I think that the Packers could be representing that spot instead of the Eagles. That they're going to still have a very, very tough schedule because they're in the toughest division in the NFC. The North is just loaded with good talent. I mean, I think the Vikings, who I think are going to finish last in that division, are a good football team and very well coached. And I think they have – so spoiler warning, me and Trey were supposed to do a top 10 wide receivers last year, but we literally went for almost 3 hours, so I forgot to do it. But I think the Vikings have the best wide receiver in football in Justin Jefferson. We definitely do need to do that. I think we might have some time to do that at the end of this episode to do our top 10 wide receivers. But as a Cowboys fan, I expected something like this to happen. You expect the worst out of Jerry Jones. He can't run a team. He can make a team valuable. The Cowboys are worth $12.8 billion. That's 24% up from last year. They're the most valuable sports team in America, in the United States of America. And cool, that's great. You're going to win 7 games. And
Yeah.
Dak is going to have to drag them to 7 games.
Yeah, I don't know that doesn't happen.
Dak's probably going to have a 40 touchdown year, I think, because they're going to be playing from behind so often that he's going to have to air it out like crazy. I think he could have a year like Baker did last year, 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. I think that could be exactly where Dak is at this year. He's going to have to do something like that for them to win 7 games. Saquon Barkley is going to run for 400 yards on Thursday.
Are you going to watch it?
Yes, and I'm going to watch it, and I want the Eagles to win by 56 points. I'm going to hate watch my own team against the team that I hate the most in the NFL. I hate the Eagles more than anything. Now I don't. Now they're not my least hated team in the NFL. You know who it is? The Cowboys. The team I'm supposed to like is the team I hate now the most. It's embarrassing. There's no future. You're not going to be able to get Arch Manning. I don't think you're going to be able to get any Caleb Downs. If the Cowboys could somehow luck into getting Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State, that's the only thing that could make this not horrific, because he's a legend. He has legendary potential, right? And that kid's incredible. If the Cowboys here's the issue. They need to trade Dak. And hear me out, okay? They need to trade Dak for more draft capital, stock up on draft capital, and tank for 3 years in a row. Get Caleb Downs, get Arch Manning, and Jeremiah Smith. And then we're talking. Okay.
Dude, that'd be crazy.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, Archie did say he's going to stay for his last couple of years in college, so he did say that.
Yeah, we'll see.
And he's not going to go in the draft. He's even said I think because of his Peyton and Manning. Eli, I've given him some advice.
So someone close to him said that. He did say that he's not even thinking about that right now. He's focused on this season. We'll see what happens. The worst team is either going to be the Saints, or if the Panthers are the worst team again, I could see him coming up, because there's some talent on that team. Tedoroto McMillan, you have Xavier Legette. There's still some decent talent there. Chuba Hubbard, the running back's decent. So there's some decent talent. But if it's the Saints, I could definitely see him staying. But the problem is, I think the Saints are just going to be the worst team again the year after. But we're going to get to Archie Manning here in a little bit. I'm not even sure Archie Manning is going to be that, number 1 overall, level quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with you, Logan.
No, the Saints are probably going to win 3 games, maybe 2. They're going to be the worst team in the NFL by far, I think. And they seemingly are the only team in the NFL with less future than the Cowboys, which is, hey, at least we're not the worst team, right? I'd rather be the worst team, because it means you're drafting high. So yeah, we're going to move over to some college football, guys, because tomorrow Texas Tech plays football, and I can't be more pumped. But today, Deion Sanders and his Colorado Buffaloes played against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, and I have a lot to say about this game. Kellen Moore coach Spencer Rattler. I mean, there literally is a QB battle with Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck, okay? And I'm a Texas Tech fan, so I've watched Tyler Shuck play football. He's got a nice arm, but he doesn't have a working brain. That's the problem. He just throws the ball. And that, I don't know what Kellen Moore did last year to prove that he's head coach worthy, because the game plan was just run with Saquon, tush push, and then run off play action. Like, it was not an impressive offense, in my opinion, in terms of scheme. It was obviously an impressive offense in terms of efficiency and in terms of actual, scoring points because they had the best running back, they had the best O line, and they had two great wide receivers. And Jalen Hurts can throw a good deep ball. By the way, real quickly before we go over that, J Mac from the herd might actually be drunk.
What do you say?
He said that Jalen Hurts is the best dual threat quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Over Michael Vick
Over
and
Michael
Lamar
Vick and
Jackson
Lamar Jackson. Yep.
and Cam Newton before that 1 year?
And you know what his reasoning was?
Why?
5 straight years of 15 plus passing touchdowns and
Dude,
10
oh my
plus
god.
rushing touchdowns. Okay,
Was
hold
Colin
on.
was Colin I don't watch the show when
But
Colin's not on.
Colin's out of town right now.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't watch the show when
but
Colin's
but but
not.
let me just and I was on my way to work listening to the radio when I heard that, and unfortunately I had to hear that. I'm just going to give you Jalen Hurts stats from the last couple of years, okay? Passing yards. Last year, 2,900 passing yards. That's literally pathetic. 18 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 6 where's his rushing? Let me pull up his rushing here. And he has good rushing numbers, but they're all 1-yard touchdowns. He has like 400 where is it at?
His rush snaps? Oh, no, that's not
Here
it.
we go. Rushing interception. Got it right here. Um,
He has 14 rushing touchdowns.
yeah, and they were all 1-yard touchdowns. He look at his actual yardage. He's not the best dual threat quarterback in the NFL. The year before that, he was at 3,800 yards and 15 touchdowns. I'm sorry, 23 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. The year before, 3,700 yards. He's not had a 4,000 passing yard season, and he's not had a 1,000 rushing yard season. That's baloney and bull crap, and I think he's the most overrated quarterback in the NFL, but we can discuss that another time. Back to college football.
Yeah, I don't watch the herd when the herd's not on. I don't listen. I watched Rachel Nichols. She was great. I think Rachel Nichols should replace J Mac in my opinion.
Yeah, I think J-Max just absolutely lost his mind. But college football, I'm going to be very harsh here because I watched today's game, Georgia Tech versus Colorado, and I haven't been as high as Deion Sanders as a head coach as some. Okay, specifically my co-host Trey here. I'm not sure he can coach.
What?
I'm not sure he can coach football at a high level. And I'm going to tell you why. Everyone says, well, he turned around Colorado. Okay. Colorado, before he got there, was the worst program in college football. They'd won like 2 games. Okay. He brought a brand new roster from Jackson State with his son and Travis Hunter, who was a 5-star recruit. He brought an entire new team, and they didn't do anything. Okay. So if we look at Colorado's record, we're going to pull up Colorado record by year. Okay. So, before he's there, they go 1-11. Okay. Pretty bad. That's a bad year. Deion Sanders gets there, turns the program around, and they win 4 games. Okay. The next year, last year, they had a pretty decent year, right? They went 9-4. This was, Travis Hunter, Shador Sanders. They had a pretty easy schedule, and the games that they lost were not good. Today's game against Georgia Tech, he had an opportunity to get the season started very, very well. Pretty much a lot of new players. They had a brand new quarterback in Caden Salter. This was an opportunity for them to get going. And in the final drive, Deion Sanders forgets he has timeouts. And then they're in a Hail Mary situation with no chance because he just doesn't call a timeout. I'm not sure he can coach at a level that's going to produce bowl game appearances. Okay. I don't know if he's going to have a roster. I don't know if he'll ever have a recruit as talented as Travis Hunter again. I don't. And that's not a knock on Dion. That's more just because Travis Hunter is, very highly touted prospect. But this game just puts into question. I'm not sure what if Dion is a good coach. I just don't know. I just truly don't know. I mean, Georgia Tech isn't some world beater. I mean, their quarterback is literally a running back. He had more rushing yards. Haynes King had more rushing yards than passing yards. Georgia Tech had, and I repeat, I'm gonna pull this up here so I get it exactly right. 3 turnovers. Colorado had 0, and they lost by 7. You rarely see that. You rarely see that lopsided of a turnover battle lead to a loss. And he just didn't call a timeout on that last drive. I don't know. This game puts a lot. I know it's just the first game of the season, but it's the first game without a talented quarterback in Shedeur Sanders and a world-class athlete in Travis Hunter. And they had some other good positional pieces. Jimmy Horn Jr. was a great number 2 receiver, things of that nature. It's just, I'm concerned.
Okay, so I do agree with you about some points. I do think that last drive was kind of bad on his part because he had a chance to win the game and he blew it. And but I think that kid Slater was all right. I mean, first part of the game, I thought he was doing really good, and then he fell off the cliff. He was doing too much. He was kind of playing a little bit, and he had a good all line too, good protection and whatnot. He had all day to throw the ball, but he just didn't capitalize on that stuff. But I don't think Dion. I think Dion can coach, but I don't think Colorado is a team for him, in my opinion, because Colorado is not a really good recruiting program. I mean, the past few years they have these 3-star recruits. That's average. I ain't really. That's mediocre. Especially amongst all people that play football. Trust me, I know people that play football are 4-star recruits and they make it all the way. And you really see a three-star recruit unless you're Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. That's literally it. But I think Dion should probably consider moving. I said last week with Jaden a couple weeks ago that I think Dion should probably consider leaving Colorado because Colorado isn't the team for him, bro. I mean, he can coach good players. I mean, look at Jackson State and the HBCU. He brought back that team that was down, that was freaking awful. He actually had good talent on that team. You know what he did? He won the championship at the time. And same with high school. He did the same thing in high school in Dallas and Fort Worth and whatnot. So I think Dion, I think Colorado's a good program to start off his real coaching debut. But I think Dion should go consider to coach another team besides Colorado, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, that's
No,
reasonable. They did have 4 4-star recruits in the transfer portal, and they also did sign. Let me pull it up here exactly. They did sign 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 4-star recruits. So 10 4-star recruits total on that team right now. One of them is Julian Lewis, who's not playing. He's the 4-star quarterback, but Chauncey Gooden.
I think you should start him because Slater was doing great until he started doing way too much. I mean, the dude. Here's the last drive of the game, Nick. This guy had a chance to go down, and you know what he did? He ran out of bounds. Like, bro, you had a chance to win the game,
I
but
mean,
he didn't. He didn't go down. He had a 2-time. I think he was gonna use a timeout, but he blew it. Dion, I think he was gonna use the timeout, but you know what happened? That freaking quarterback made a stupid mistake by running out of bounds to stop the clock.
okay, here's the problem. They had a quarterback battle, and Caden Slater won, and Dion thought he was a better quarterback. So either this kid, Julian Lewis is not ready, or he's just not as good as his rating says he is. But they got multiple offensive linemen who are 4-stars. They got multiple wide receivers who are 4-stars. They got an edge who's a 4-star. They got a 4-star wide receiver, and then on the transfer portal, and then they have a couple of, you know, 3-star cornerbacks. They have another 4-star defensive lineman. Like it's not like they should be better than Georgia Tech, right?
Yeah.
And the issue is I'm not sure that I'm really just not sure if Dion can coach a college team that's not just loaded with talent. Okay. If he wants to go to a program that's just going to be loaded with talent, all those jobs are taken. If you think about the best of the best who are going to land these crazy, like, you know, the craziest recruits and transfers, you think in LSU, Miami, Oregon, you know, all obviously Texas, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, you know, Oklahoma in some cases. The problem is you have to build that culture. I've had the great opportunity to watch Texas Tech's head coach, you know, Coach McGuire, build a culture, right? And when since he took over the team's had a great success, and now they're second in the transfer class. Like, you have to build that, because all those jobs that have the guaranteed, you know, guaranteed 10 5-stars, like all those guys, Steve Sarkisian's not going anywhere, right? Ryan Day's probably not going anywhere. You think of all these incredible programs, like I just Kirby Smart, he's not going anywhere, right? I just I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried about, you know, where else he would go, right? Because I don't think
I mean,
anyone's chomping it.
I think Florida State coaches he's on the line. So is
Yeah,
Brian Kelly.
probably, but you know, they just had a great transfer class. They're probably gonna have a good year this year. I'm just he can build the culture. If you would have told me 3 years ago that Texas Tech would have the second best transfer class, second only to LSU, and it's by half a point, that if you told me that, I'd be like, no way. Who'd we get? What, did Nick Saban come out of retirement? Like, you can build that kind of a culture for transfers, right? Because no one's going to beat Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, Alabama when it comes to just straight up recruiting. Nobody's going to beat them. So where do you do your damage? In the transfer portal. That's what all these programs are doing. Joe Burrow to LSU, transfer, right? You think of Miami had a great transfer class led with Carson Beck. Like, Ole Miss had a great transfer class. Missouri. Look at what Bill Belichick did in 1 year and one off season, right? He got North Carolina in the top 10 transfer classes, you know, and we've seen what Matt Rule's been able to do with Nebraska, who had a big win on Thursday. You know, they were 13th in the transfer portal. Can you, you know, Colorado was 19th, right? I think he should stay. I think he should call timeouts when he has them, but I think he should stay. And I think he should try to build this program. I don't think he should leave yet. Unless if Florida State comes knocking on his door and says, we want you to be our head coach, obviously go do that.
Yeah.
Go do it. It's a better conference. It's a better program. It's a better school. Go do that.
That's where he went to school too. That's his alma mater too.
But if they're not banging on his door, if nobody's banging on his door, he's got to stay and build this thing, right? And he can build it. He's Deion Sanders. He's prime time. Like, he can make a name for this. But the problem is he has to just do it. You just have to build it, right? There's plenty of money going into that program. There's plenty of notoriety. He can build it. It just takes time, and I think he should stay. But I'm on the fence on his ability to be a head coach, an effective head coach. I think he'll be able to recruit. I think he'll be able to get transfers, but I'm worried personally about his ability to coach in crunch time. Because at Jackson State, his team was better than everybody's. It was just better, right? Freaking Travis Hunter in D2. Like, what are we talking about? His team was loaded. They won easily, things like that. Like, I need to see him in close crunch time games be able to make coaching decisions that win them football games. And,
Yeah.
Starting off this year with a loss to Georgia Tech isn't a great start. I know Georgia Tech was favored. They were favored by about 3.5, I believe. They have an easy game coming up against Delaware. And then they go Houston, which Houston had a pretty good win. Wyoming, and then they go BYU, TCU, Iowa State, Utah, Arizona, West Virginia, and then they close up the year Arizona State and Kansas State. That's not an easy Big 12 schedule.
Yeah.
They didn't get an easy Big 12 schedule. They could lose 5 or 6 games again this year. So I got to see it. I got to see it, right? I definitely have to see it. But I was very disappointed with with how the end of today's game went. So
Yeah.
excuse me. Wow. Whew. My voice cracking. It's because we're about to talk about something that I'm very, very passionate about. Before Trey talks a little bit about what he's going to be doing this semester, I want to go over to Texas Tech real quickly. I talked about this already, and I'm just gonna say a couple more things, and then I'm gonna give it to you. You can talk about that, and then you can talk about what's going on this semester for you. But for the last time, for the eve before Texas Tech opening football, Joey McGuire, Mr. Beast, who is our offensive coordinator, and our defensive coordinator, Sheil Woods, you three have the opportunity to take the Big 12 by the horns and own this division. And it starts tomorrow with a 30-plus point victory over Arkansas Pine Bluff. That's where it starts, tomorrow. Go ahead, Trey.
I agree with you, man. If they lose this game,
Okay,
even if it's close, man,
they're not going to lose the game.
I think they can win this game. They have to win this game.
Okay, no, they're going to win this game. But the thing is, if it's 41-22 or something, that's not a good win.
Yeah, it's not.
It has to be you hold them to under 10 points, or if they score 22, you score 65. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I agree with you. Now, back to WT Sports. Those you don't know, I would be covering WT Sports this semester. I'll be on the sideline, reporting. It's be me and this girl and this Avery and this guy named I forgot his name, but it's gonna be the three of us doing each after each quarter, before half, at the end of the game and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that. Trying to build my reel up. Just trying to. It's last week. The Buffs still lose to Western Colorado, 45-28. Close game until their defense collapsed. The quarterback RJ Martinez had 262 yards and 2 touchdowns. This is Division II football. He's in D1. This is D2. And no, they should not go D1 at all, because they
can't hang. They can't hang with D1.
They can't hang with it. Maybe their softball team and their volleyball team, sure, but not their basic football team. But yeah, and if this upcoming game will be at home, will be against I think the same team, Colorado. Yeah. So looking forward to that. Look out for me on the sidelines. It will not be streamed yet. The first game is just practice, but next week, the next home game will be streamed in live, so y'all can go check it out too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We are excited to see what you do, brother. All right.
Are you gonna watch it? Would you watch it?
Bro, send me the link if y'all got it.
Yeah, we got the link, but it's down. Right now it's down. Because WT signed a deal with KGNC, a radio station, and Lucas and Kinsey and the other guy is taking over that. So, but yeah, it will be streamed though. The next home game will be streamed.
Okay, cool.
It's on home games because it's We'll be going home to like 4 a.m. in the clock in the morning, bro, because
Yeah,
it's a far drive. So just all
very
home
cool.
games.
All right. All right, moving back over to some D1 college football. So we have the biggest game of week one, big noon kickoff, Ohio State Buckeyes, Texas Smuckhorns, Longhorns. This is obviously the game of the week. It's a rematch of the Western Conference semifinals. Wow, it's a rematch of the college football semifinals. It's number one versus number three, defending champs versus hopeful champs. Texas is going up to the shoe, and they're gonna try to put a stamp on this season. In your opinion, who's most to gain with a win? I guess who for either of these programs, in your opinion, which one would you say has more pressure to win, and which one would you say a win would mean more for them?
Right. I think the first question I think Texas is pressure to win because Texas signed all these people in a number one recruiting class. They have Archie Manning, who's supposed to be the next Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and also his grandpa. Because as a Manning, that's a lot of pressure on you. You know, it's a lot of pressure on you. I mean, I remember Peyton's first start in the NFL. You watch a broadcast on with CBS at the time with his dad was watching this game, and at the end of the game, it was on NFL primetime at the time. It was Berman and Tom Jackson saying that you know what, if Payton cannot take this team to the next level his rookie year, he's a bust. If he can't win, that's him as a rookie, by the way. Peyton Manning. Every Manning has pressure on you. That name on the back of your jersey, that's pressure. So I think this is by far hands down the best team in football. Supposedly, that's what I've seen. That's what I've heard. You know, I watch the Paul Feinbaum show and Kirk Herbstreit show. They say the same thing. So this is the most pressure to win. As far as the most game to win, what team will gain to win? Probably Texas too, because this will show like okay, Texas is here, and we're here to take it, and they're here to take it all. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, so it's Texas all the way for both questions.
I agree with you. I think Texas is most to gain here. Um, I think a win's more important to them. Ohio State can say, well, we beat you when it mattered in the playoffs, and we actually won the national championship as well. We'll see what happens again when we meet later on. Um, a loss for Texas would be devastating. It would potentially mean that this rivalry is starting off in Ryan Day's in the Buckeyes' favor heavily with, two back-to-back wins. Texas does have the number one recruiting class. Ohio State's fifth, but here's the difference. And I think so. We know Jeremiah Smith is the best player in college football. I think pretty much
Yeah,
everyone would say that. He had a really bad game against the Longhorns in that semifinals because they were double teaming him, bracketing him, tripling him, doubling with a safety over the top. They're like, yeah, we're actually not going to let you beat us. And they had a Mecca Ibuka who is going to do great things for the Buccaneers this season. They had Trayvon Henderson who's going to do good things for the Patriots this season. Like they had other guys who would beat them. So it's up to Ryan Day and that offensive coordinator to figure out how to get Jeremiah Smith involved in this game. I think Jeremiah Smith is going to want his lick back. I think he's going to want to be, he's going to want to be a major focus of this game. I guarantee you he's extremely competitive. He's going to want to go out there and prove that he can be a part of beating the Longhorns because he had one reception for 3 yards. They were triple teaming him in that conference championship game or that conference playoff game, semifinal playoff game. My goodness, I'm struggling with that. It's up to Ohio State, the coaching staff, offensive coordinator. I know that they have two good running backs. They got one in the transfer portal, CJ Donaldson, 4-star in the transfer portal. I know that they got Max Clare, who's a 4-star tight end. So hopefully, they can get something going here. But the big difference is instead of Will Howard, who was one of the most experienced quarterbacks in college football, now it's Julian Sayin, who hasn't played a single down of college football. But the thing can also be said for Arch Manning, too, who's barely played any. This is going to be the biggest game Arch Manning's ever played in his career, right
Yeah.
here. So it's going to be the battle of two juggernauts. It's going to be in the shoe, Ohio State at home, opening kickoff. That place is going to be bumping like never before. I expect Jeremiah Smith to have a big game. I expect the Buckeyes to win this game, but I think I agree with you. It's definitely on Texas. They'd have the most to gain, and I think it's more important to them to win this game. That being said,
Logan said the horseshoe is going to be so loud tomorrow. It might take Arch a minute to adjust.
oh, absolutely. The shoe is going to be bumping. That stadium pulse is going to be maxed out. Arch is going to be screaming at his guys in the huddle, and they're not even going to be able to hear him. It's going to be a big-time adjustment for him when he's played before in big game. Okay, when he started while Quinn Ewers was hurt, those weren't very big games. They were against, mediocre teams. When he got time in important games, he was just running packages. It was read options. It wasn't any throwing, anything like that. This is going to be tough for Arch because the shoe is so loud. It's one of the best. It's one of the best home field advantages in sports. Not in college football, not in professional football, in sports. And it's going to be really, really tough for him to adjust to that. And that the Buckeyes team is still good. Jeremiah Smith is still there, and Julian saying, it's going to be very important for him to get his guys going early, specifically Jeremiah Smith. We'll see what happens. But staying on the Texas Longhorns side of this is going to be Arch Manning's first actual season as a starter. What are your expectations for him this season, and how good do you think he can be?
So if they say that this guy's like the best quarterback ever, so here's the deal. Archie Manning has to be at least a Heisman candidate to be able to be successful with the team. Top of that, his team has to be at least in the national championship game and win it. That's the pressure they have. Okay, I'm tired of hearing the Longhorn fans saying that. We've had that we didn't have a good quarterback at the time with Quinn Ewers and whatnot. Well, now I don't want to hear no more excuses for the Longhorns at all. So this is their chance. This is their last chance. Steve Dragnolia has put a lot of pressure on his team too, on his press conferences. He said. So with that being said, this team has a lot to prove. As national championship or bust.
Yeah,
Archie Manning as Heisman candidate, if not Heisman overall, or bust for Archie Manning. That's how I see it. I don't want to hear any excuses no more for Longhorns at all. I don't want to hear it. It's baloney. Own up to it. If you lose, own up to it, please.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Archie. It's championship or bust for me.
I couldn't agree more. This is a $35 million roster.
That's freaking crazy, dude.
A college roster that's worth $35 million. They wanted the number one transfer. They wanted the number one recruiting class. They got it. They did lose some talent into the draft, but this is championship or bust for Steve Sarkisian and the Texas Longhorns. You have no excuses anymore. This year, you've been in the SEC for a couple years now. You've got punked by Georgia last year twice.
Yep.
You have no excuses. You have the best quarterback of his class in Arch Manning, who is the number one recruit, the number one overall recruit, the number one quarterback recruit, whose people are saying is just the next, Trevor Lawrence, the next, in terms of college play, the next Andrew Luck. You have talent, 5 stars everywhere. $35 million roster. If you don't win a national championship this year, you have failed. It's a failure of a season. If Arch Manning doesn't end the year as one of the couple guys who gets selected for the Heisman, Arch Manning has not had a good season.
I agree.
I don't want to see no 25 touchdowns and 5 interceptions from Arch. I want to see 35 plus. Okay, he doesn't have to be Joe freaking Burrow, but I just can't. There's no more excuses. I didn't think there was excuses last year. You just got punked by Georgia. There's no more excuses. You should be the cream of the crop of the SEC. This is back-to-back years where your recruiting class is, one of, if not the best. There's no more excuses. And Arch Manning has had a whole year to sit behind Quinn Ewers and learn the offense and learn how to play and learn from a good college quarterback in Quinn Ewers who's good. I don't think he was great, but you had this opportunity, and this is a great measuring stick for you as a player going to the shoe against that ridiculous home field, sorry, wrong sport, and ridiculous team. And I think the Heisman winner and best player in college football in Jeremiah Smith is your chance.
I agree.
There's no excuses. I'm done with the excuses for the Longhorns. It's done. There's no more excuses. I guarantee you right now at the shoe, there are people camping outside ready to get in for tomorrow. They probably have thousands of people camping outside that stadium right now. That place is going to be so hostile. It's going to be so hostile. A couple more college football topics before we get out of here. LSU's Brian Kelly is definitely on the hot seat this year. LSU did have the number one overall transfer class, even though I think Tex was a little better, but whatever. According to 247, it was LSU by half a point, whatever. They had the number one transfer class. They're number 9. They are opening up tomorrow night against Clemson, who is number 4. Do you think that this is a make or break a year for Brian Kelly as head coach of the Tigers?
I think so because LSU, it's been a great team, but at the same time they always choke. They haven't done anything really since Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson
Nothing
on that team. And Brian Kelly has put a lot of pressure on himself as well. And Nick, I don't know if you watched the SEC documentary on Netflix, but last year this guy made a lot of excuses on that documentary. A lot of excuses, by the way. So with that much talent you got too, your job's on the line, bro. I mean, dude, your job's on the line, Brian Kelly. No more crap, bro. You get it done for once. I find it funny how we put pressure on Alabama. People are literally blaming Alabama for literally losing I forgot who it was last year. I forgot who the team was. It's top of my head. I know against Vanderbilt. They called this guy after that. They said that this team is done and whatnot. They ain't Nick Saban and whatnot. Well, Brian Kelly, you haven't done anything since Joe Burrow and Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. So your job's on the line, Brian Kelly. I'm tired of these excuses too from LSU and LSU fans overall. Great stadium, by the way. Heard it's nice. Heard that the stadium environment is crazy, but other than that, y'all have to get it done too. So
yeah, big time. They had a great transfer class. They had a great recruiting class. They had a 5-star corner, multiple 4-star skill positions, multiple 4 stars on defense, multiple 4 stars on offensive tackle, multiple corners. 4 stars all over the place. 4 stars in the transfer portal all over the place. Safety, D line, offensive line, edge. Wide receivers, cornerbacks, edges, everywhere.
Yeah.
There's no more excuses. AP thinks you're the 9th best team right now, and you haven't played a down of football. You should go out there tomorrow and beat Clemson, who I think is a good team. I think Clemson's very good. But this is just a huge make or break a year for Brian Kelly. Ed Oregon was the head coach for that national championship team. And a lot of people think that, because of that, mutual parting of ways between him and LSU because of the allegations and all sorts of stuff, that the team just hasn't been the same since Ed Oregon was there. It's up to Brian Kelly to get them back to championship contending form. And they don't have to be the 2019 team because, quite frankly, I don't know if we'll ever see a college football team that good again in our lifetimes. But I think that's the greatest college football team in the history of college football. Don't at me. I don't want to talk about it. Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson on the same team with the ball being thrown in by Joe Burrow.
You don't think the 01 Hurricanes are? Because that defense was crazy in 01. It was really crazy.
I think we're about to do our top 10 wide receivers before we get out of here. My number 1 and 2 are Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, and I bet yours are too.
Yeah.
And it might not be in that order, but it's either Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson or Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Having those two, Joe Burrow, and a loaded defense, And Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a great college player. I know he didn't pan out in the NFL, but incredible in college. It's just, yeah, it's just crazy. Logan, it's actually right up next here on our document here before we do our top 10 cornerbacks. But yeah, Lee Carew, yeah, it's his last day on college game day tomorrow. That's kind of crazy. I mean, he's probably going to cry. But, I mean, what do you think, Trey?
Yeah, it's kind of, I grew up watching College Game Day with my dad and whatnot. Um, in media, that this would be a different year without Jimmy Johnson too on Fox, and people were just getting old. Like people were. It kind of burns you out a little bit. I mean, for me, I say now I don't want to retire in media. I don't want to live on till it pays off. But hey, you never know. Look at Hubie Brown. Hubie Brown retired from commentating, and that was pretty emotional too. He was a coach and became an NBA on TNT and ESPN. But I think it's sad. He's a football savant in college football. He was a USC coach for a long time. Um, but in my opinion, I've said this before. I'll say it again. There's no better job than being in sports media. You get paid for watching sports and talking about sports and analyzing it and breaking it down. You have fun with it. And Lee Carso had so much fun with that as well. Lee Carso brought a lot of energy a lot of energy when he talked about football. He was a mentor to Desmond Howard. He brought in Pat McAfee on his show. Him and Kirk Street were together for a long time, but it's going to be sad. He's basically one of the faces of ESPN, and the show won't be the same without him. Same with Fox NFL Game Day. With Terry and without Jimmy Johnson and Michael Strahan, it's going to be different this year.
Mm-hmm.
And with Gronk too, I don't know who's going to replace Jimmy Johnson. I think they say Colin Cowherd would, if I'm mistaken, but let me know. But but yeah, I think it's gonna be an emotional day for sports fans and people and on ESPN and whatnot. So congrats to him. Congrats to him on an amazing career. I'm gonna be real. A lot of people don't last that long on ESPN or even general and sports media. People will fire you if you ain't bringing the revenue and the money. You're cut. You're gone. Like for example, you look at ESPN fired Keyshawn Johnson. Shows don't last that long forever. It's a
Mm-hmm.
rare it happens. Longevity is really crazy. It's a rare, rare, rare thing that happens. So, but you know what? Congrats to Lee Carso on a wonderful career, and we're gonna miss seeing you on College Game Day.
Mm-hmm. 90 years old, one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah,
Congratulations on retirement, but you're definitely going to be missed for sure. All right, guys, we're gonna do our top 10 wide receivers real quickly here. I've been wanting to do this. It shouldn't take long. I just want to get. I don't know why I want to do this. So my favorite position in quarterback. In quarterback. My favorite position in football. You guys might be saying, "Oh, it's wide receiver." It's actually cornerback. Okay, cornerback's my favorite position in football. I think you have to be an absolute dog to be a good corner. So I want to do a top 10 corners as well eventually. But I'm saying that because it's a pretty, we all know who the best cornerback in the NFL is, right? It's Pat Surtain.
yeah,
After last year, there's been a big debate on who the best wide receiver is, right? So I did spoil it earlier. I'm going to do my top 10 real quickly here. I think Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in college football. Not college football. All I can think about is that Tech game tomorrow. That's literally all that's going on in this noggin. So that's all I can think about. He's the best wide receiver in the NFL. And I think it's very, very close between him and number two. It's Jamar Chase, number two, in case y'all are wondering. My biggest thing with Justin Jefferson is we've seen him with a plethora of different quarterbacks, right? He made Sam Darnold look good. He's made, all sorts of different quarterbacks look good because the Vikings have been kind of on that quarterback carousel since Kirk Cousins left. We have never seen Jamar Chase without Joe Burrow. We have, when Joe Burrow's been hurt with Jake Browning and backups and stuff, but I mean like a full season without Joe Burrow. And what Justin Jefferson does for his team, I think, is a little bit more valuable than Jamar Chase. I think he's the best 50-50 ball catcher in the NFL. That's about to change when Jeremiah Smith gets drafted, by the way. I think it'll Justin Jefferson, I think, is the best 50-50 ball catcher in the NFL. Okay. But Jeremiah Smith will be coming for that spot when he gets drafted. We'll see. But for me, his over the top ability, his route running, his length, his hands, it's all just it's just ridiculous. Number 2, I have Jamar Chase. He's one of the fastest. He makes a huge impact. He's one of the best deep threats. He might be the best deep threat now that Tyreek Hill's kind of, fallen out of his prime. His connection with Joe Burrow is ridiculous. He's a fantastic route runner. He's shorter, but he's still prolific in the red zone. He's a Triple Crown winner, a legendary player. He's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, in my opinion. Hopefully we get to see him in the Super Bowl a couple times. And now this is where it gets really strange. 3 to 10 is, I think most people will have Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase 1 and 2 in some kind of order. 3 through 10, it could be anything. I'm going to go through these real quickly. I don't want to explain every single one of them. I'll explain ones that I feel like I need to. But 3, I'm stuck between 3 guys. I think there's 3 guys that all could be 3, and it's my 3 through 6. It's A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think those are the next 3 guys. I'm gonna go Amon-Ra St. Brown 3. I think he makes Jared Goff look incredible. I've never really seen he kind of plays a lot like Travis Kelce in the way that he just owns the middle of the field. What he's able to do in the red zone, his his run after catch ability, his route running, I think he's number 3. Number 4, I have CeeDee Lamb at 4, edging out AJ Brown. I think CeeDee Lamb is one of the most explosive wide receivers in the league. You give him the ball on a screen, he can take it to the house. Great hands, all that. AJ Brown, one of, if not the best deep threat in the league at 5. I think he has the easiest job out of all these guys because he's on a team that's run first and he gets to play against, one corner and a safety because you got to stack the box against the Eagles. So he gets to play against softer secondaries, but I still can't deny his talent at all. So I'm going to have him there at 5. 6, 6 through 10 is another spot. I think Puka Nacua is 6. His emergence as a superstar wide receiver has been shocking. It just goes to show how well the Rams can develop and scout wide receivers. He has I think he has top 3 hands in the NFL. I have him at 6 though because of his physical limitations compared to the other guys. He's a fantastic route runner. He can catch anything in his vicinity. He's amazing. And I could definitely see him going further up this list soon. So that's 6, Puka Nacua. 7, here's where I might get a little controversial. 7, I have Malik Neighbors. I think from what he showed me last year, you throw the ball within 15 feet of him and he's just going to catch it. He has Justin Jefferson-esque ability to just catch the ball, fitting because they both went to LSU. His just raw talent and ability is ridiculous, and I could see he could shoot up to top 3 in my opinion. He's just so talented. I love Malik Neighbors, and I'm so mad that he's a Giant, but whatever. So that's 7. 8, I have Tyreek Hill. It's very, very far drop for him, but I still think that his just home run ability is definitely still top 3. and what he provides for a team is still top 3. He's still incredibly fast. I don't think he's the fastest in the league anymore, but he's still incredibly fast. He's strong. He's got great hands. He's a decent route runner, but he doesn't really need to be a good one because he's just so fast. I have him 8. Number 9, this one's tough for me too. There's a couple guys here. I like Terry McLaurin. I like Mike Evans. I think Brian Thomas Jr. has a case as well. But for me at 9, I'm gonna have to go with Mike Evans. You don't just have 1,000-yard receiving every single year unless you're fantastic. He's fantastic. His longevity is incredible. What he's been able to do for so long. He's just, you throw the ball up, great red zone threat, huge target, great route runner. As he's declined in athleticism, he still is incredibly effective with his route running. I have him 9. And then at number 10, this one was another tough one for me. I really like Brian Thomas Jr. I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you're a wide receiver from LSU, I like you a lot, and I think you're really good. So I do want to put him there. But I think I'm going to put Scary Terry at 10, and then I'd have Brian Thomas 11. But Scary Terry 10, what he was able to do for Jaden Daniels last year, being a huge touchdown threat. I expect him to have more yards than he did last year. I know he's 29, he's getting up there in age, but he is so good at catching the ball, and that's kind of important for wide receiver. So that's my top 10 wide receivers.
Okay. So I agree. Number 1 for me is Justin Jefferson. By the way, Justin Jefferson, this is something you need to know about Justin Jefferson. He has the most receiving yards of all time in his career, with averaging 96.5 yards per game. Most receiving yards for seasons of his career, he has the record with 3,016 yards, passing Jerry Rice from his first 2 seasons, 2020, 2021. Most games with receiving yards, 100 plus yards actually in first 5 seasons, passing Randy Moss with 33. Randy Moss at 30. His franchise record-wise, he's had the most receptions ever as a rookie in 2020 and 88. He's had the most receiving yards of the rookie season, 1,400 yards. Single season 2022, 128 receptions. So yeah, we know that he's a pretty good receiver. I think he might go top down probably if he's healthy, probably top 5 receiver of all time, maybe top 3 or 2. So number 1 for me is Justin Jefferson. Number 2 is Jamar Chase. Number 3, I'd probably just say 3's hard, man. What the heck?
Mm-hmm. It's a hard one, bro.
I'd probably say, man, what the heck? Man, number 3. Number 3 is hard. But you know what? I'd probably go with Ahmad Shea Brown too. He was really good last season, despite the stuff that he actually made Jared Goff look good. For once. So yeah, I agree with him. I agree with you on that. Number 4, I'd probably say AJ Brown. I think AJ Brown he runs anger. Well, he reminds me a lot of T.O. when he's younger. Because T.O. used to run angry. Oh, mad, and that's what AJ Brown is too.
Yeah.
He's a stud he's a man among boys too. He's strong too, he's fast. He can break through tackles and whatnot. So number 4 for AJ Brown. Number 5 will probably give you Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin has had a great year last year. Last year, I have it pulled up. He was 15th in receptions, 2nd in receiving touchdowns, and 12th in yards. And yeah, she has a good quarterback. He has a good quarterback too. So a rookie QB. So I had a lot. Number 6, I'll probably have to give you CeeDee Lamb, despite Dak Prescott being aggressive sometimes and being stupid. He's actually made Dak look good at some points of the seasons. He's also passed Michael Irvin too, and yards and the Cowboys franchise history. He's those surpass Michael Irvin and receptions and catches as well. So yeah, I think he's top 6. Number 7, I'll give you Tyreek Hill, probably because he's still Tyreek Hill. I think last year was off for him because Tua was hurt and the whole season basically with a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you have a bounce back year. I think you should never leave. I think you should go back. I think you should consider leaving Miami overall.
Yeah.
So number 8, Mike Evans. Mike
Okay.
Evans is heck of a heavy. Oh, Nick left. Nick, where'd you go, bro? So number 8 is Mike Evans. Let me see what happened to Nick. Hold up, guys. Sorry. Nick, he bounced back. I don't know what happened. They kicked him out. He got scared. I think I made him mad or something, but I don't know. I'm just playing. Nick, there's Nick, guys. He's back.
I actually closed my browser. I'm kind of trolling.
No, you're good, bro. I get you've been on the road, so I understand.
Yeah.
Number 9. Man, number 9 I'll probably give you Devontae Adams.
Still?
I think he's the best route runner in the NFL besides Justin Jefferson. I think because it was in the worst scenario last year. Aaron Rodgers, he went to a washed up Aaron Rodgers team,
Mm-hmm.
and he probably a big mistake he had was
Mm-hmm.
probably go to Aaron Rodgers in the Jets.
He's gonna have a much better time.
I know he will. He probably did trade him.
No, Logan said I got traded.
Oh, he got traded?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Number 10, probably T. Higgins, probably. I think
T.
second.
10. Wow.
I think T. Higgins is his second best receiver, like a best number 2 tandem.
I think he's definitely the best wide receiver 2 in
Yeah,
football.
but yeah. So I think so yeah, that's my top 10.
Okay. Yeah. I'd love to do my top 10 cornerback soon. That is my favorite position in football. Just heads up, I do think that Pat Surtain the second is the best cornerback in football. But hey, that kid on the Bears, Jalen Johnson, he's coming. So is Derek Stingley Jr. on the Texans. But we'll do that some other time, guys. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Thank you for being here for me and Trey's depression as Cowboy fans. I am considering. So you have to go through quite the process to change your favorite team. It's whole thing, sacrifice, blood oaths, all sorts of stuff you have to go through. I am strongly considering doing that. I'll keep you guys updated. But
I
Jerry
won't
Jones
do
is making
that.
it very hard on me. I definitely will do it because Jerry Jones would do it to me. He would do it to me, right? So I'm not going to give him the same loyalty I'm not going to give him loyalty when he has none at all. So strongly considering. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys know. But thank you guys for stopping by. I'm so ready. I'm so ready for college football tomorrow. Me and Trey are going to be on the golf course during Texas, Ohio State. I'm going to have that thing on in the cart. I know that for sure.
Same.
So, but yeah, guys, thank you for stopping by. Just remember to like, comment, subscribe. We are going to be doing more episodes throughout the season, the football season and college football season than we have been doing during the off season. So be on the lookout for those. And yeah, we will see you guys a regular scheduled episode next Tuesday, the last episode before the NFL season starts. Crazy. But thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next time. Y'all have a great rest of your night, morning, whenever you're listening to this. So we'll see you guys, and y'all have a fantastic rest of your evening or night, and we will see you.